How's it going out there, world? Back again. It's that time again, start gardening. So, my family, my wife and I just bought a house. Since it there. We got that in October, so obviously not a good time to be starting garden stuff. Maybe preparation, but I went about that life. So this video is gonna be about building raised beds. So my original plan, which didn't pan out, and I'll tell you why in a second. But my original plan was to take pallets and make some beds out of them. And the technique I was going to use was to cut them in half and then fill in the little slots. It's a great idea. I got it from some guy on YouTube. I forgot his name, but I'll link him in the description down below if y'all want to see. But basically, the idea is just like you see here. Take these, cut them in half, and then you put those slats in and fill in those little holes so your soil won't fall out. Only got one completed. Right there. Mostly completed. Yeah. Well, that's about what it's gonna look like. And like I said, it's not a bad idea. It's just it was taking me way too long. I'm by no means a professional woodworker or anything. This was actually my first wood project besides that compost bin right there. And all I did was nestle some pallets together to keep that. So what I decided to do was go ahead and buy some lumber and put it together that way. I was up for the challenge, but I got too much stuff going on. Church, work, family. So I needed this done as quick as possible. Plus it's time to start getting some plants out here, some seeds out here. So I went about that life. So what we're gonna end up doing is taking this right here. This is a 10. We got two threes right here. And well, y'all can see that or not. You can see that? Yeah, that's good. Then over there we got the same thing. So making two planter boxes. And they're gonna go about right here. So what I've decided to do was put them about 4 feet out from this fence. And I'm thinking maybe about 6, 7, 8 feet out from this fence over here. So basically what I'm gonna do is go ahead and mark right there. And then I'll do the same thing coming from this wall right here, this fence. And wherever my X is, that'll be my corner. And then I'll put the corner of the board right there. So one thing I want to say about this lumber real quick. This is fir. It's nothing special. It's not cedar or redwood or anything that is made to naturally withstand the outdoors. There's some people out there, when they're outside, they don't want to work with anything but cedar. you know, my budget's not all that high. So basically I wanted something that I can get out here real quick, relatively cheap. Thus the reason I was going with the pallets at first. But you want to treat your wood. So I do have some sealant, wood sealer on here. Let's see anything else. When you're looking at your boards, I don't know if it matters too much with knowing this kind of project, but normally when you're working with wood, you want to look at it along the edges and see which side bows. And that side's going to be what's called a crown. The side that bows up is your crown. And you want that side to be facing up when you put it wherever you want to put it. So when you're building a deck or, you know, building or something, you know, anytime you lay your wood across, but with the short side, you always want to make sure that crown is right there. So let me put this thing together a little bit, and I'll show you what's next. All right, so update coming along nicely. Take care. That's messy. So I got one of the frames put together, and now I'll show you in a second. What I'm doing is putting on some hardwire cloth or hardware cloth to go underneath. And the reason for that is around here we have whistle pigs, and before I came to Idaho, I had never heard of a whistle pig in my life. They are a rodent. They dig, they eat, and mess up everything. It's literally all they do that I know of. They are a varmint, a pest, a nuisance. And around here, animal lovers, close your ears. Around here, there's free reign to kill them. Free reign to kill them. Just a brief backstory. Their natural predator is coyote. And here, where there are a lot of people, and pretty sure over the past years and decades, whatever, there's been a lot of hunting, trying to kill off, not necessarily kill off, but get coyotes out of the area. And so the coyotes left, and now the whistle pigs have free reign to, you know, do whatever they want without any contention. So between that, other rodents and stuff, I have this hardware cloth on the bottom side of my bed. So here's what we're looking at. Hopefully you can see that. I know the sun's kind of there. So I got this, and basically I'm just stapling it around the edge. You can probably see the staples going down. One more thing I want to talk about. Between the two beds, I want to do something a little different with each one. So if you notice the joint here, see how this end board is on the outside? If you come down here, the end board is on the inside. And let me give you a better view. Yeah, so up here, end board's on the outside. Down here, it's on the inside. Now, if you start up here where the end board's on the outside, follow this board down all the way. This sideboard on this side is on the outside. Yeah, and then the end board's on the inside. It's vice versa down there. So what it's supposed to do is give a little more stability. However, what it does do
is, you see, this is 3 feet. And down here, this being a 2x10, it takes away roughly 2 inches from my total length. So what I'm gonna do with this one over here is just put my inboards on the inside, and that way I'll get the total 3 feet. And over the years, I'll see which one holds up better as far as the structure wise. They'll probably do the same as far as rotting and all that. And if there's really no difference, then in the future I'll just do them with where I have more space to work with. So yeah, from here, basically just gonna finish stapling the hardware cloth on. I only have like 20 more minutes before I have to go to work, so that'll probably be my last step today. If I do have some more time, then I'll throw some cardboard on the inside after everything gets stapled down, just to sheet mulch all the grass and stuff that's down here. I still got to square it off, all that good jazz. So yeah, that's where we are. All right, give you another update in a little bit. All right, so far we've got our first bed finished. Came out fairly well, I believe. I'll come back to that one. Second bed we've got put together. Hardwire cloth. It's underneath. Let's see if I can get to it. Couple layers of cardboard. There's a hardware cloth. Keep the rodents out. Then here I've got alfalfa. Somebody had from a co-worker. He just gave it to me. Appreciate it, Mr. Ernie. So I just put this down as a little layer of not necessarily mulch, but just I don't know, stuff the worms can eat. It'll end up being nutrients down the road. And then here I've got my potty mix from last year. I've thrown in there. I don't really need as many pots as I did last year because I have these. So just taking them and dumping them in there. It's good soil. I've got compost. I've got some biochar, vermiculite. About half of them had peat moss, and the other half had cocoa coir. So this is nice stuff. This is pretty rich. There's a few rocks in there. Well, that's just from the bottom of the pot. There's not nearly overbearing amount. So basically, after this level, I've got compost that I had to buy. My compost isn't done yet. I only started it about a month or so ago. So I went to a local garden center, Yard Creations, and I got this. So I ended up buying about a yard of compost, and I basically used that to fill up about the last 4 or 5 inches after the potting soil was put in, and we'll see how it goes. If you don't have potting soil like me, you don't really have to worry about that. You just want some good soil in there. They have bags of already mixed soil for raised beds. I don't think it really matters as much what type you use, as long as it's got some good ingredients in there. The vermiculite don't really need that, just because I've got the compost, and that's going to hold a lot of water, peat moss, cocoa coir, things like that. Good medium. If it's a little windy, I apologize. This is Mountain Home, Idaho, so yeah, just wind all day here. So yeah, I've got my potting mix and compost, and put those in there together. And I didn't get rock dust this year. I'm kind of kicking myself now because I forgot about it, but it'll be all right. I still got some good stuff in there from last year that's gonna be beneficial. So basically, this is my last step. Throw my potting soil in there, and then fill the last 4 inches up with compost. Kind of mix it in there, water it down. Start throwing some seeds in there, or plant starts if you have those. So I hope this has been helpful to everyone. If it has, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'm working on being a regular YouTuber. It's a process, but I appreciate all the support you can give. All right, coming back to our first bed. It's been completed. Like I said, I've got some compost in here, and I'm not gonna worry about that. Y'all know what's in there. So I'm using the square foot gardening technique, and there are plenty of material, videos out there talking about this. So I'm not gonna go into it too deep or anything, but basically this is supposedly the most space, what's a good word for it, space conservative technique you can use to get the most amount of plants in the smallest space. So for example, I've got some snap peas here, some snow peas here, and with peas in a square foot, you can get 2, 4, 6, 8 roughly plants. I've got spinach over there. You can supposed to get 9 there, but I got these in. Let's see. Yeah, those I get in on the 11th. That's gonna use my space for collards. I am from the south. Gotta have my collards. Most everything else I got in on the 13th. So lettuce, radish, beets, more beets, radish, kale, spinach. So this is only the beginning. I've already got my tomato starts, pepper starts, some jalapenos already started. So overall, I'll say this is gonna be a good season. Pretty excited. A few takeaways that I have. This will be my last little bit. My corners, I didn't get them quite as flush as I would like. I had some split wood. Let's see, might be able to find some. Yeah, here we go. I had some wood that was split, and this came from the lumber yard like that. You live and you learn. I think it'll still hold up pretty well. It's not split all the way through, so far as I can tell. And the nails, although they did do a little splitting, it wasn't anything significant. They seem to be pretty sturdy. I leveled them off to make sure that I didn't have any water running off to the wrong side. Like I said, this is my first wood project, besides the compost bin over there. All in all, I think it went pretty well. If you all have any suggestions, things like that, I did make sure it was square. If anybody's want to suggest that, um, but I'd appreciate any critiquing. You know, always in the business of learning something new. So I appreciate y'all taking this journey with me as we go. So my next thing I'm gonna throw up is actually talking about these trees I have here. I'm doing a espalier pruning technique. You know, these are already pretty established, but we'll talk about that next time. Get into that. In the meantime, I look forward to your thumbs up and your subscriptions. All right, take it easy.